I don't know if it is regarding your units, because I think that you have your pump, I suppose. Okay, so easily we normally install this tracker. Probably 90% is an Isuzu. Okay, installation of the pump and the electric actuator for engage and disengage the PTO, and the sensor that tell you if the pump is in or not. You have in the cabin plant electric one wire that comes from here is the number 120. The number of the line is orange, the wire, and you need for nose in the plant when the pump is on. Okay, this is a mechanical switch. Okay, nothing more. For example, for the smaller units, okay, I increase the zoom. Okay, now it's better.
Yeah.
What you read here, for obtain the correct flow rate of 14 and 16 liters, because our pumps dimension for this unit is around 15 liters, and my RPM is around 800, 900 RPM. Okay, remember what I told you yesterday, the rate between the engine and the pump must be 1:1. Nothing more. Maximum pressure is calibrated on the frame. The main relief valve on the frame is around 240 bars. 240 bars. Then, okay, one step. How to, when you start up the unit, how to adjust all the relief valves. Okay. First of all, you must to adjust the main on the frame. In theory, our manifold on the frame, in theory, must be already adjusted in factory, not our factory, to the vendor, because they test the manifold on the desk and adjust the maximum pressure. But better that you test. Okay, so we have from the beginning one valve, the main, that I repeat, cover all the system in the main block. We have the second on the frame distributor, and we have another one in the ELT distributor in turret. How to adjust the sequence of the pressures? You must to close completely both the valve on one of the distributor in the frame and the other one on the distributor in turret. Close completely, close it. Retract the extension after I will explain you how the extension of the boom, and keep under pressure and adjust the main. Second step, you go in the distributor and adjust the pressure around 210 bars. Okay, this is more or less probably here I didn't read before. This is new even for me. Third, when you are adjusting the frame distributor around 114 and 150 bar, don't need more, don't need, because the pressure in this case is more than enough for mood stabilization. And go on. There are all information about the PTO, but I think that you knows better than me. This is we use this system, for example, for the I don't know if you have this type
They
of.
do. Yeah, they do before, yes.
You have?
Yes. So.
Okay. This is an electric clutch, okay? And the electric clutch pick up the movement from a belt directly from the engine. This system is Italian production, is special production for our units. Okay, don't exist in outside, as my information. And what is the system? You can see all stuffs for install the group on the engine. It depends from engine. When I was here in Manila 5 years ago, I remember.
Tissue?
Cold.
Cold.
Can you admit? Because if I will be sick, I cannot to go in Australia.
32 degrees.
Or I come in Australia, but I stay in New York.
I'll work under your instructions.
Anyway, all these stuffs are one block only, one supplied all together. And when you install this, pay attention at two things. First of all, alignment of the pulley, okay, in order to have the belts working perfectly aligned on the pulleys, because it changes every pickup, Isuzu, Mitsubishi, Mahindra, a lot of trucks, you know. But something can change. So is it possible there are some regulation to do, adjustment to do in order to align all the 3 or 4 pulleys, the puller, okay? Because if I don't remember wrong, this is a V-belt. No, sorry, not a V-belt, the large belt, you know, and must be perfectly aligned on all the pulleys, because you know what's happened if it is not aligned. The belt works 1 week and then will be broken, okay? And another story, if you have the cooler hose, pay attention that the cooler hose doesn't touch the pulleys. Okay, you move or modify. We have for Ford, but you don't have a Ford truck, I suppose. Ford, we must to modify a lot because there are no space. And the vendor of this system provide us even a new hose, a rubber hose for the cooler. Okay, only for information. Pay attention, because when you are driving, the hose move, and the pulley is still working. And so if it cut the hose, you lost all the the cooler water. Okay, nothing more. Okay. Our section of the hoses. Okay. You know this. I carry on with this. This is a diagram that show you the flow of the oil respect the section of the hose. Okay, I like this, but you have no chance. What I mean, all the hoses that run around the machine, 1/4 inches, 3/8 inches, not more, inside the boom. Okay. Remember that only the difference between inlet hose and outlet and return hose must be or equal, or the return must be more than the pressure hose. For example, if you have the hose outside the pump, okay, the P inlet for the system, it normally is 3/8 inches. Okay, the return in tank must be almost half inches, or better 3/4 inches, because the system need to breathe. You must not to have pressure in drain. We call the pressure in return in drain 0. If you take a measurement with a manometer on the filter, must be 0. Really, you can read 5 bar, 6 bar, because this is the resistance of the circulation of the oil inside the circuit. When you pass, you install all the hoses in the frame, avoided to have a lot of corners, okay? But more straight that you can, okay? Especially for the inlet from the tank to the pump. Avoid at more than impossible all the corner. Avoid to have the tank in the same line with the pump. The tank must be upper than the pump, okay? More than is possible, because it's the weight of the oil that push oil inside the pump. Because in theory, a gear pump sucks oil by itself. But if you create some difficult to move to the oil, during the time you can create some air bubble inside, okay, and you burn the pump, okay. So remember, no corners more than it is possible, and a difference of level between the tank and the pump. Regarding the tank, try to have, I don't know which kind of a tank you use, our tank or your tanks, I don't know. Normally in our unit we install a tank that the capacity is around 40 liters. Okay, and there is an eye for see the level. Try to have the maximum level ever. Why? Because obviously you need to have oil to get to the structure, but another skill of the oil that must be the oil, must to have the oil is the cooling. If you have less level, you increase the temperature because the oil even cool the system, refresh the system. Clear this? Okay, so normally in maintenance or check always the level of the oil. In 40 liters, if you lost 2 liters, 3 liters, can make the difference. This is not for the speed, all the machine in the world, every, okay? I have seen some installation in Asia with a big tank, 60, 80 liter. Better is a cost, I know, better, because we don't have an exchanger. We have not a cooler actually for the system. So if more oil you have, better, because he can reduce the temperature immediately. Question for you: if you want to understand the temperature, where you take the measurement of the temperature of the oil? Question for you: which is the best point for check the temperature?
From the return?
No. Because listen, when the oil is circulated, no, okay, when it's running for go back in the tank,
Before the filter?
he loses temperature slowly. The best point is in the exactly point on the pump. This is the correct point. Why? Because I suppose that in that point the pump such fresh oil. So for this reason the temperature in the pump should be lower. Okay, but if you are working, you take the measurement and you reveal 60 degrees, for example, number on the pump. Think what's happening around the machine. If you go to measure, take the measure of the temperature on a valve, for example, is more than 60, absolutely. So the best point, clear. Normally, what I do, first I take the measurement on the pump, and the second measurement on the redstone filter, and you can understand the difference. If you, on the pump, you take the measurement and read 60 degrees, but on the filter you have 30, it's okay, because you know that is the circulation. But if this difference is less, for example, 50 degrees on the pump and 45 degrees, something is going wrong. So you must check. And another question for you. What is the problem? Why the oil warming up? There are a lot of reasons. The first, obviously, is the environment. Okay. Second reason.
The hoses size?
In general, the oil, if the oil find resistance, is like an electric wire. What is Ohm? The explanation of resistance. When one wire is running by current, warming up, more or less it's the same story. The oil, if find resistance or on the valves or the hoses, the first, cos'è il nome in inglese? Attrito?
Attrition?
Friction. Okay. And you have turbulence, the movement of the oil inside the hoses. All this increase the temperature. More you close the pressure, the valves, more the temperatures warming up. So adjust the pressure in order to have the the pressure just enough for move your unit normally, not more. Because in my experience, a lot of people think that for increase or decrease speed, it's enough to increase or decrease the pressure. Wrong. Because pressure and flow move together, works together, but pressure is never the reason that you can increase the speed. For increase or reduce the speed, you need oil, flow. Clear, if you lost oil, if you lost pressure, you lost flow, but only for the function of the distributor. But in theory, for increase the speed, you need liters, not bars. Okay.
And what is the normal temperature for?
Our plants works very good in higher temperature. We can, ELT vendor, ELT is the vendor that make all our manifolds. Distributor, valves, one vendor only, and I told you this morning works for socage at 95%. He ensured me that we can reach 120 degrees. Is a lot. Normally, I never took measurement here in Asia, but I took this measurement in Italy when outside there was 40 degrees. We are around 70, 80 degrees. It's fantastic because I remember when I started to work on the cranes, they spoke about 50, 60 degrees. Okay, but it was 25 years ago when the temperature was not so higher. Okay, but our plant can work with higher temperature.
Also for the seal kit, also for the cylinder seal kit, we can
get
up to like 120.
Guarantee till 120 degrees Celsius. No problem for the temperature. You see, we don't have exchanger. We don't have a fan for the oil in our unit because don't need. Okay.
Usually we install.
The volume's enough. The volume of the oil is enough.
The volume of the oil is enough for refreshing the system. Okay. You see, I was speaking. It is bello, you can see the correct assembly of the hoses and incorrect. Okay, you know better than me. If you have any question for this, for example, why this? Especially in the inlet, because if you install the hose in this condition, can pull. Probably he doesn't broke but reduce, okay, because it's pulled. And all for the vibration, for a lot of things. So remember that this one. Remember that the corner on the hoses, if you use any brand of, I hope that you use only our hoses, interpump. But if in any case, if you use another brand of hoses, remember to have the database of the maximum corner allowed. Because if you close, the oil is very, very difficult to move. There are clearance for the radius. Okay. Parentesi. You remember yesterday that you spoke with me about the 324?
Yes.
Remember, if you need fittings to crimp on the hose, we can provide you not only the hose complete, but even the bushing, even the fittings, all if you need to modify something. Mm? Okay, nothing more. Okay. This is the explanation of our hoses. I carry on because okay, interpump is this one is one SC.
So one layer.
One what
One
is the name?
layer.
Sorry.
Layer.
Berapa?
Yeah.
One layer, two layer.
One layer, three layer,
Fiberglass
four layer,
or
two layer.
braided.
No, the steel here. The
The stainless steel.
what is the name?
R2.
Cosa vuoi dire?
La maglia.
Esatto.
La maglia,
il rivestimento?
la maglia metallica. Aspetta un attimo, forse c'è scritto.
Berapa? Dua kali cukup.
Treccia. Treccia.
E poi
Insomma, c'è il
Prima
nome.
frizione, poi frizione.
Cos'è? Traduci, c'è il traduttore, treccia. Date una mossa.
Allora,
You send us two layer.
A reinforcement.
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 He's translating
non
maybe.
non sta andando. Vai, ridulla, use the wifi. Sta andando.
Sorry, but I want
Doesn't
to
matter in
give you
English.
the. No, this is important.
Do you mean the material that it's made of, or
It's a metal. Okay, doesn't work. Okay, anyway, it's the steel, the metal inside the hose. Okay, you can have in this case one SG, one only, but it lower pressure. Normally we use two SC. Okay. Pay attention because one day, some years ago, I make a test on a higher machine. I install 1 inches hose, 80 bars only.
That's for return.
Immediately. I don't treat. Okay.
yeah, 1 SC.
2 SC, you know, 2 SC
Yeah, it's two layer.
double. Mm. But if you, I repeat, if you use our hoses, you don't have problem. You can stand directly. Mm.
Stainless braided.
Oh,
It's stainless braided.
Style.
So,
Yeah.
Charlie, don't worry, I will provide it.
Okay, thank you.
This information is not so perfect. Oil. You know that in our system we normally use 46 hydraulic oil. From my information, we are going to use 32. Yeah, in the future, with the new models, with the new system of leveling of the cage, probably we start to use the 32. But what's happened in Asia for the weather? Normally, from my experience, I want to use the high viscosity oil. Is a multi-grade, okay? So you can choose an high resistant temperature, because for us it's 46 standard. Okay, now will be 32, but there are a lot of type of oil that you can use. The grade must be the same, but you can choose the high viscosity oil, because it's better for the higher temperature.
Yes.
You can choose. Important, the standard viscosity not change between around and 32. Don't use 68. I've discovered unit, don't move. Like honey. No, don't use 68. 68 was used in the older cranes for nothing. The viscosity of the oil is not important for our plants are perfect as construction. We have not friction, we have not parts. All the manifold are built very good. Perfect clearance on the parts and so on. You don't need to have the pump are new, so you don't need to have high viscosity oil. They're correct, because I repeat, in the next future we will use 32. Okay. And we use Agip Arnica H46. For the moment, this is the standard. I have seen people put inside the tank ATF.
Yeah.
You know what is ATF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a 10W viscosity. No. Years ago, Fassi, 20 years ago, used ATF.
Yeah.
Not now. Even if I solve a lot, when I was young, a lot of problem with the ATF.
ATF.
Because if you found Dextron 2, Dextron 3, you have 10W30, 10W40. Kalmar, you know Kalmar, forklift, big forklift, use engine oil inside the hydraulic system, 30W. No sense, but depends on what the constructor choose for them plants, you know. Anyway. Filling the tank. I think that I can carry over. I can go over with the feeling to how fill the tank.
From the top?
Do you want to laugh? One day, 324, the older Serial 3, in workshop some years ago, I repaired this unit, delivered this unit to the customer. After half day, the customer was angry. You repair my unit, the unit lose the oil. Don't go. What's happening? Come in the workshop, I want to check. He was crazy. Wow, you are stupid. I don't see any leakage. No, you don't see. Listen, I show you. Stabilize the machine, open the boom. Look, I don't see the oil in the tank. Fanculo. 1 hour for explain him that the oil goes from the tank to the plant, and after when you close the machine, the oil go back in the tank. Maybe if you change a job, it's better. Okay. We have here a hydraulic plant.
佢可能
I'll see, yes, go.
可能要下晝先安排到人。
Can you read? Can you read? Or you want that I zoom up
差唔多
I can see that.
a bit, maybe?
哦，明白。好，阿豪喺度嘅，你可以試下打俾阿 Louis。
Yes, better.
哦，啱。
Okay.
哦，因為係我
So
我出咗 trip 因為
this is an hydraulic
Oh,
system of
我
all
想揾下佢我都 OK。
our smaller units. What you see here, and I like because now socage is working very well. It's starting to, and we must say thank you to our colleague Ale that push a lot for this. Okay, because till some month later doesn't exist this manual. Okay. Anyway, you can see here. This is the motor, the pump. This is the main block that yesterday I explained to you. Okay, when we go in the plant of the stabilization, you can see all cylinders, holding valves, distributor, maximum relief valve, pressure, and so on. Okay. What change? It changes when you go in. This is the ELT distributor in turret. Okay, you can see. What you read here?
Lines in.
QA, QB, QA. This is the flow that you need for move. The oil that you need for move the cylinder or the motor or so on. Because I repeat, you need pressure, but you need even to know how many liters. I want to explain very well these things. When you speak about speed, what do you think? Why you speak about speed? What is speed? How we can obtain different speeds on the movement? Simple, more or less. A cylinder, for example, is like a bottle. Okay? You take a bottle, you take a measurement of the volume. How many liters for fill complete this bottle? 4 liters. Okay? But my volume, my bottle is 40 liter. If I give 4 liter for any minute, how many liters how many minutes I need to fill complete the bottle? 4 liter, 40, 10 minutes. 10 seconds. Because 4 liter any second for fill complete my cylinder need 10 seconds. Engineer when writes the diagram with pressure, speed, liter, seconds, calculate this, the volume of the cylinder, the length, how many liter in how many seconds. Okay? This calculation comes from this liter, comes from this calculation. So you can do that for yourself, by yourself. If I have a cylinder 500 diameter, I think that you need a lot of oil. So you need to have a spool bigger than 4 liters. You need a pump bigger than 60 liters. Okay? For what this? because remember that speed is a consequence of how many liters you receive in your utility in that moment. Clear. If you lost pressure, I lost pressure, okay? Because I adjust not correctly the relief valve. Why the speed decrease? If we are speaking about liters and not flow and not pressure, why we in any case lost speed? Because if you adjust in wrong condition the relief valve, you decrease the pressure. But why? Because a part of oil goes in the tank. You lost liters. In the variable system, in the higher machine, when you are the variable pump, we was speaking with him this morning about this. What the pump do for reduce the pressure? Put the plate on zero, so you don't lose the pressure. You cut the flow, so the pressure. In this case, is the opposite. You lost the pressure. A part of oil goes in the tank, and you lost liter, and you reduce the speed. But the rule is, when you are setting the speed, the rule is, first of all, and now we are speaking about your installation, okay? First of all, the machine must be adjusted manually for adjust all the pressure, first of all. Not in electronic, because, why not? Because in electronic you have slow down, you have slopes, and you don't have RPM and so on. So the main pressure, the main pressure and the pressure for any single movement must be adjusted in manual. You bypass the machine, and with the key goes in the end stroke of any movement, adjust the maximum pressure. Then you start to adjust the speed with the electronic, not the opposite. If you replace one valve, if you replace the block, same story. Before, check the pressure mechanically. Then in electronic, the speeds. You can see that leveling need 4 liter, nothing. The motor of the swinging of the cage, 4 liters, nothing. Turret rotation increase a bit, 8 liters. Boom, boom, 8 liter and 12 liter. Why this difference? Why we have two
speeds? 2 RPM speeds?
No.
No.
Because the cylinder is not, the chamber is not the same. The road side, the bore side is bigger than the road side because we have the road. So you don't need to have a lot of liters in the road side for have the same speed. Okay? For this we have this difference. 8 in the road side and 12 in the bore side. Remember the bottle. The only cylinder that the theory called compensated are, for example, the cylinder of the steering of the forklift. You have the piston inside in the center and 2 rods exactly equal, so you don't need same liters in both sides. But when we work in not compensated cylinders, we have different volume of the both chambers. Okay, so you need less in the roadside and more in the roadside, in the bore side. Ha! Do you know what is this?
This one is the TV. Was it like the TV? Like the mouth?
No, it isn't a valve, but
It's
it's a
double-
special valve. You know absolutely. let me zoom up. This one. Logic element.
Yeah, it's a dumb mouth. To go
Compensator.
compensator, yeah.
What is a compensator? Why we install a logic element in our distributor? Because what is the logic element? Is a logic element. He think, okay. This component remember more or less the load sensing, the idea, okay? What's happened? When you are working with the unit, you have the pump, a stable cubic pump. In the gearbox, in the gear pump, the flow increase or decrease only with the RPM. But I have 60 liters of oil coming out from the pump at the maximum idle. Okay. If the engine in that moment is running at 1000 RPM, we are not 60, but maybe 10. I don't know, 12 liters. Okay. All these 12 liters goes inside the distributor. But you want to rotate the basket, and the basket rotation need only 4. I give 10 liters. I use 4. The other list, where go? Who control this? The compensator. The compensator is a valve that works continuously. The oil goes inside the distributor, and one part of the oil between the compensator goes in the tank again, and you use only the oil that you need in that moment. Because if we don't have the logic element in the distributor, you push a lot of oil inside, and the system doesn't breathe. You have a lot of retro pressure. Okay, you increase the temperature, you increase the resistance of the oil. No, we install this. Normally, depends of the model. We can have one compensator for all, or one compensator for any element, the best. Okay, so only for this, for tell what we want to control the flow as better than is possible. Don't waste oil. Don't waste pressure for nothing. Same story that I explained you between downforce and okay, but this is mechanic. It's not controlled by LS or other stuffs. And what can speaking about troubleshooting, what can happen? Sometime it could happen that one O-ring inside on the, because all the valves on our unit, fortunately, are all cartridge. There, if you remove the cap, you don't have springs. No, cartridge. out in without problem, and it is fantastic. I remember years ago, I was outside a crane for a valve. I removed I didn't know at the end. I removed the cap, springs, washers, okay. No, now is all cartridge. You remove, install. Nothing you lose, nothing more. But you have some sealing, O-ring. Obviously, one O-ring, you understand immediately because that moment don't go. I have no pressure. I have pressure only when I have the user on the end stroke, but I have no flow. First of all, remove the compensator and check the valve, or you can find some piece of dirty inside the valve. But what I want to tell you is very easier to maintain. All the parts, main relief valve, the cartridge, the spools. The spool are all cartridge. Up, out, in. We build the distributor in this mode because we want that easy to maintain. Okay, it's very, very, very easy. Okay. Then there are no Quando gli daremo le macchine senza il cilindro per il master del livello a loro già?
Ancora non glielo daremo,
No,
ancora.
ok. The rest we have motors, we have a cylinder, okay. Valvola rigenerativa. I try to explain. Look at this. Allora. This is D2. This is the boom extension cylinder. Do you know what is this strange valve?
It's a regenerative valve.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
What is a regenerative valve? This is a complicated valve. Okay? But easily, what need, why we want to install, we have this type of valve in all our cylinders for extension, from the 12 meter to the 100 meter, okay? Because this, for me, this is a good idea. Why? Normally, if you have a normally holding valve, when you extend the boom, for example, what's happened? You give oil from here, and the oil in the opposite side of the cylinder return in tank. But for what? Why we want to waste this oil? The regeneration, how work? Till exactly pressure, okay, you start to move the cylinder, the oil don't go in tank, but the oil return in the cylinder. So, for example, in this case, you have 8 liters for retract the boom, you have 12 liters for extend the boom, for example. When I am extending the boom, I use 12 liters, okay? And in the other side of the cylinder we have 20 liters, because the cylinder is full in the roadside. These 20 liters in theory goes in the tank, but why we cannot to waste this 20 liter? Okay, I want to use this oil again. Okay, so I have the oil coming from the pump and I use the same oil coming out from the cylinder. So if you have exactly 9 liter, your speed will be good because you use even the oil coming in from the other side of the cylinder, regeneration. Okay, but this works till a specific pressure. Okay, the valve has three cartridges. We have the holding valve, but we have the sequence valve. What means? Means that easily the regeneration works from 0 to 180 bar. After that, the sequence valve open and the regeneration stop, because the regeneration cannot to work in higher pressures. So if your pressure in that moment is down 180 bar, you regenerate the oil after the valve open and the oil goes in tank. But believe me, I tested some valve like this and I feel the difference with the regeneration and without the regeneration. There is very with the regeneration to avoid to have a big pump, to have a higher RPM idle for move the extension, because the extension, why you need we needed to have the regeneration of the extension, because it is long. It is a 3.5 meters, 4-5 meters the cylinder. We need the time. If we don't have the regeneration and you take the measurement of the time for extent, you take a coffee, you smoke, you speak with the woman till the boom is moving. Okay? Okay, this is the theory. Practice, please, never touch the valve. If you have problem, I know that you are better than me. If you want to open for check, sealing, and so on, I understand. But before this, with a caliper, take the position of the adjustment before. In this valve, I am not so sure that is all cartridge. Maybe it's all divided parts, so pay attention. First time when you put on the desk the valve, not here, not
underneath.
so, but upper side, and move slowly, go inside, and piece by time. Okay, I make this in India because they want to learn how the valve. Okay, you have a desk clean? No. There was a desk and one man with a grinding machine. Oh, guys, it's not the correct place for make this job. Anyway, I repeat, the only thing to check with the caliper, the perfect, especially if you want, could be that you want to adjust the holding valve, but please don't move the sequence valve. Because if you change the sequence, what's happened? If you reduce the pressure of the sequence, you regenerate till 100 bar. You don't feel the difference of the speed. If you increase, if you close the sequence valve, the regeneration works at higher pressure. You can damage the cylinder. Okay. vabbè, torque limiter, vabbè, you know, other values that you can read here. I make you a question. I adjust my plant, maximum pressure 210. But why I read 280 close to the valves?
That's
Why?
That's the
Why this pressure is so higher respect my adjustment?
That's the holding valve. That's for the
Exactly,
holding.
because this is the pressure inside the valve. And don't confuse the pressure inside the cylinder with the normal maximum pressure on the system, because it's completely different. For example, if you push a cylinder and you remove the hoses, this pressure doesn't work. This is only the adjustment of the holding valve inside the cylinder, not outside. So for you, nothing changed, because normally the holding valve must be not changed. Please don't change nothing. The holding valve are set on the desk manually before install on the unit. Okay, you know what means how works a normally hold. I go over. You know how works. Okay. 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 It's very. Then the regenerative valve, the rest is very easy. I want to spend 1 minute for explain you how to check or how to what you need to do in maintenance for the basket rotation motor or Meta or Moveco. Probably you already saw Moveco. Okay. Easy. Remember that if you need, we have sealing kit for repair. You don't need to. If the machine is in warranty, don't worry. We send you a new Moveco or Meta complete. But in the future, if you want to repair because you have leakage of oil on the Moveco, exists a kit, and we have even a procedure how to perform the maintenance. Okay.
To replace.
Because at the beginning we replace completely, but it's not a good idea to tell to a customer out of the warranty period. No, you must know why. Don't exist a kit for exist. We have the material, we have the procedure you can buy from us. Okay. The only thing that you need to do when you, for example, you repair or replace completely the motor, to drain out, to blow out the air. On the body of the motor there are two small screw with 8 spanner. Okay. Open and swing till you don't see air bubble. When you feel the oil, when you see the oil coming out without a bubble, close. Finito. Finish. Only this, because sometimes someone forgot this, and you are, why? Because there is air inside. The other movement circuit a little bit is the more complicated to understand in our unit is the automatic leveling of the cage. Why? We use normally two cylinders. Okay, one cylinder is below,
default.
and it is the leveling
It's a manual.
cylinder. But how it works? It works piloting another small cylinder and is attacked in the bottom of the boom, the main boom. So is connected in parallel. Okay? When you raise the boom, you push oil, pull and push oil from the roadside of the master, and the same oil goes in the leveling in the
Go up.
in the roadside of the leveling, because it is in parallel. So easily road,
Yeah.
bore. Okay. For when we have not the remember yesterday I explained you the sensor for the leveling that call oil directly from the distributor. In the more years ago we don't have this, only hydraulic. What was the problem? If you left the machine in the parking,
4 weeks.
or when you start to move the unit, the leveling it was too much up, too much down. So the next step that we try to modify for upgrade this system is to install this holding valve here. This is a manifold that you will find installed directly on top of the element of the leveling on the distributor. What is this? If you don't give oil from a distributor for the manual, this close. This allow to close the circuit between the circuit and the distributor, because you know better than me that the distributor never keep close the circuit because there are leakages inside. Okay, we put a new valve in the middle between the two sections for try to have this line completely full of oil in any condition. Okay. And then we install even the electronic system, and now in the next future we will deliver the system without the master, only electronic and only this system, this cylinder below the cage, but now is under testing, so it's not delivered for all the units. Okay. How check? This is the problem. How test the system when you have issues? Okay. You see, we have for any movement, we have a checking valve for any movement, up, down, extension, retraction, swinging. Any movement has one single valve. Okay, but you are moving and you see that in one sense when you raise the boom, okay, the cage don't follow the movement, or the opposite, when you are completely raised, you lower the boom and you see the cage don't follow. You must to check the first step. You must to check the pressure inside the two lines, but inside, not here. Because if you check the pressure here, you don't see nothing, because in that moment the circuit is closer from this valve. So, how you can perform this? On the master, if you take a look on the master cylinder, there are two mini-mesh connection. Okay, you must to connect two
Pressure gauge.
gauges, and the procedure is this. Listen, in manual, so you bypass the unit. In manual, put completely at the end stroke outside the cage and raise the boom. Why? Because in this condition you can adjust and check the pressure in one line only inside the circuit, not outside. Okay? What you can do, I repeat, from the lower position, push the cage completely at the understrong outside. What I mean outside, if you are in the cage, outside, inside, okay? Bend the cage completely outside and raise the boom. You will see on the manometer the pressure up, 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 and you can adjust the pressure here. There are two screws in this small valve. You can adjust. After, if I find some pics, I show you. Okay. The adjustment was around 160 bar for both, not over, because really you never reach this pressure because you don't work with the cage completely folded in one side or in the other side. But in this moment you are testing the circuit. What you can see, if all is working correctly, you find in one side, in the pressure side, you find 160, 170 bar. In the other side, 0. Same story when you want to check the other side of the circuit. Boom up, put the cage completely in, not back, but in front, completely, and lower the boom. The cylinder of the leveling is a end stroke, and you can read the pressure in the other side of the circuit, and it is the same. When you will see a problem? You see a problem if when you raise the boom or when you lower the boom, you see the pressure increase and one point start to go down, and in the other side you see the gauge go up. There is a leakage side. You understand immediately the system is not closed. Somewhere the oil goes, and what is the result? The cage is not in leveling. 90%, no, 90 no, but 50 or 60% of the problem is in this valve. Okay, because dirty, because 4 bolts, remove the valve, don't waste time, replace, clack, close, and after I will explain you how to perform maintenance. But sometimes happen that there are problems in the master cylinder. There is passage on the piston inside because the seal are broken. Okay. For my experience, is very difficult that I found a problem in the cylinder of the leveling on the holding bag. Sometimes happen on the holding valve, like all the holding valve of the old machine of all the brands. So I don't explain you how to check the cylinder. You know better than me if the cylinder is okay or not. The valve you should close you should put in the middle valve for close, but if you test the silent, the master, even with the compressed air, and you don't find nothing, replace the valve, finish story, or open the valve for check, cartridge as well here. When you can suspect that we have problem in this leveling cylinder or in the holding valve of the leveling cylinder, when you left the machine on the park, and after 2 days you find the case down. There are two reasons, or happen a lot in factory. Why? Because the machine stay a lot of time parked, or because there are a lot of bubble of air inside the circuit. Okay, it is normal. In fact, in factories, sometimes every 2 days, we have one guy or two guys that goes, switch on the machine, move, because it's normal. But your machine has 2 years age. In the morning, you find the case folded down outside. Easily. You know better than me. You charge oil, put the cage 10 degrees in one side with 200 kilograms inside and remove the hoses. Okay? What you see? Question.
No oil. Oil's coming out.
Yeah. If you see
Oil coming out.
oil coming slowly out from the fitting of the valve, absolutely is the valve. Different, if you don't see nothing coming out from the fitting, but the problem is inside the cylinder of the seal. My suggestion is original spare parts ever, even the sealing, and if it is possible, replace main time cylinder and valve. The valve 90% of the time replace. But I repeat, original spare parts. Okay. Okay. I think that you normally maintain even the cylinders. You open and repair. I spend one thing, word, check the board inside. Because I have seen in my life a lot of people maintain cylinder hydraulic without result, because they replace the sealing inside the piston, but don't take a look on the side on the board and the scratch on the board. You can replace all the sealing every day, but if you have a scratch on the board, you can pick up the cylinder and put on the rubbish directly. So I understand if the cylinder is small, you can check. If the cylinder is long, you don't see nothing inside. So anyway, maybe Curtis knows this about the extension cylinder of the T20.
Which one?
A lot. Yeah. Okay. Question for this. Do you understand exactly how to perform the test on the leveling system? Okay. I think that it's enough for this. What is the time, guys?
2012. 11:40.
11:40.
Back and forth.
What do you think? Carry on or?